between shows.
This weekend we have IkiCon in Austin, Texas, and MewCon in Portland, Oregon.
The weekend of January 7th through the 9th, there is Anime Los Angeles, Ichiban Con in Charlotte, North Carolina, and SAC Anime in Sacramento, California.
Weekend of January 14th through the 15th, there is KotoriCon in Sewell, New Jersey, Chippy Pie Sampler in West Palm Beach, Florida, Anime Zap in Peoria, Illinois, and Sodak Anime Convention in Rapid City, South Dakota.
Weekend of January 28th through the 30th is OhioCon in Columbus, Ohio, and SetsuCon in State College, Pennsylvania.
Weekend of February 4th through the 6th, there is UshiCon, or YushiCon, and if I butcher this, I'm sorry, in Round Rock, Texas.
Now, I will be attending OhioCon at the end of the month.
I'm still up in the air for that. If I don't make it, someone say hi to Monica Rial for me, please.
You should also stop by the Sabasacon table and just come say hi. I should be around there.
Well, let's go ahead and talk about some animes we watched during the break.
Ooh, that's a good idea. Would you like to go ahead and start, Blue?
Yeah, I didn't really get to many animes during the break. I was more focused on gaming, but I finally got to watch The Melancholy of Haruhi Suzumiya.
You've been talking about that one for quite some time now.
Yeah, interesting story to say the least. And yes, I watched both seasons, including every episode of Endless 8.
Endless 8?
Basically, it's the same 8 episodes repeated with some differences each time.
Sounds like a filler.
It kinda is. Could have done it in 3 episodes, to be honest. Check it out, though. The 2 main guys are voiced by Crispin Freeman and Johnny Young Bosch.
Sold!
And that's all it takes, folks, to get Zennis to watch an anime.
Oh, yeah! Wait, that was a slam on me. Angry face!
What animes did you get to watch?
Well, there was only one that I really got a chance to watch all the way through, and that was Black Butler, the subtitled version, though.
Oh, I think I've heard of that series before. Is it about a butler?
Well, it does center around 2 main characters, Sebastian and Seal Phantomhive. Sebastian is a demonic butler who's bound by a contract to serve Seal, the 12-year-old head of the Phantomhive noble family. But, in return, Sebastian will obtain Seal's soul when he's finished with all of his tasks. His revenge! It's pretty awesome.
That's kinda dark.
Yes, it is, and it's definitely not a show for kids.
Oh, wait. Now I know why I've heard of this show. We mentioned it earlier as a new release.
Correct! I really like this show, so I'm looking forward to watching it as dubbed as well.
That's because she heard Kyoya from Oron is doing the main guy.
Shh! Silence you!
J. Michael Tatum.
Silence you!
I win.
Hey everyone, this is cosplayer Clay Saint, and you're listening to Takatobi Radio.
Now, Blue's gonna give away some awards to video games he's played throughout the year, and honestly, I think he just wanted some more airtime on the show.
Hey!
Go ahead, Blue.
Over the course of 2010, I've played my fair share of games this year. Now, I didn't get to all of the ones I wanted to, but hey, I'll be able to do that in 2011. Hopefully. In 2010, I've played some good games, and I've played some bad ones. Right now, I'd like to give out some awards to games that were released this year that I was able to play. For the Nintendo DS, unfortunately, I was only able to get to one game in this year. As far as the handheld gaming went, the PSP got more attention. Ever since I heard the announcement for Professor Layton vs. Ace Attorney for the 3DS, I've been playing to get into the Layton series. However, I didn't get the first game until about 2 weeks ago, and I've barely played it. So does the only game I completed for the DS this year deserve an award? Yes, it definitely does. Ace Attorney Investigations, Miles Edgeworth, lived up to my expectations, and more. It was much better than the previous Ace Attorney game, Apollo Justice. What this game did was mix in the courtroom gameplay with detective gameplay, kind of like mixing in old and new elements into one game, and still remaining good. There's plenty of nostalgia value as you run into some old characters, but the new characters that are introduced will definitely impact you as well. Phoenix Wright and the Fae Clan may be absent, but everyone else is present for this awesomeness. The gameplay has changed a bit. You can actually move your character around certain areas this time around, but it could still be considered a point-and-click adventure. If you played the Phoenix Wright trilogy, then this is definitely a must-buy. Apparently it was so popular, there's a sequel in the works, and who doesn't want to play more of Edgy? This next game is the winner of my Best Downloadable PC Game Award, although it's likely that not many of you know of this game. It's called VVVVVV. That's right, 6 V's in a row, and that's the name of the game. It's a 2D side-scrolling game with the simple objective of making it to the end of the level. However, it acts more like a Metroid game, since the map is completely connected to all of the levels. You can only move left and right, and you have an action button to flip your character's gravity at will. This means you can switch back and forth freely between your characters walking on the floor or walking on the ceiling. It's definitely one of those games that's easy to pick up and play, but hard to master. You will definitely encounter a lot of frustration while making your way through these levels. Floating obstacles will obstruct your path, but spikes are the main worry of this game. One hit and you're dead. Good thing you have infinite lives. The game is simplistic 8-bit graphics, and the character models almost look like stick figures. I like how the characters only have 2 expressions, happy and sad. The sad one just makes you want to go, oh. This game will remind you of the days when you had a Game Boy Color or an NES, but it is by far the best PC game I've played this year. I encourage you to try out the demo. Just go over to Google and type in VVVVVV. I'd give you the website, but I can't pronounce this guy's name, Terry Kavanagh. But he did good work on this. If you like the game, then get it. It's only $5. However, it's also part of a 5-game deal on Steam right now for $5. So try to act on that before January 2nd. Give this game a shot. It'll only take you a day or two to beat it. But if you're looking to unlock and achieve everything, the difficulty of it might take you at least a month. Sticking with downloads, I had 3 downloadable console games that I completed this year, all on my 360. Mega Man 10, Sonic Adventure, and Sonic the Hedgehog 4 Episode 1. As much as I like Sonic Adventure, that was released back in 1999, so it's down to the other 2. This one is easy. Best downloadable console game goes to Sonic the Hedgehog 4 Episode 1. Mega Man 10 was alright, but overall, I had more fun with Sonic 4. It definitely felt like playing the old Genesis games. It was bright and colorful, though, like Mega Man 10, it wasn't without frustration. If you're going to bring a zone back from Sonic 1, why did it have to be Labyrinth Zone? I was horrible on that level back then, and I was horrible on this one now! Now for those who thought this game was too short, here's a history lesson. Sonic 3 had 6 zones with 2 acts each and 7 special stage levels, so that's a total of 21 levels. Sonic 4 Episode 1 has 4 zones with 3 acts each, plus a boss act at the end of each zone. Also, a final boss zone and 7 special stage levels, so that's 24 levels, making Sonic 4 Episode 1 longer than Sonic 3, well, before it was combined with Sonic and Knuckles to make the complete game. My point? Well, Sonic 3 was pretty awesome, and that didn't seem short. Surprisingly, the only characters in this game are Sonic and Eggman. You'd think at least Tails would have made an appearance. It's alright though, because Sonic 4 Episode 1 is definitely deserving of my Best Downloadable Console Game Award. I can't wait until they release Episode 2, whenever that might be. Come on, Sega, get to it! Moving right along, I think the PSP is the second most console I spent my time on this year. Part of it was due to Dissidia taking longer than I expected to complete. Once I finally did, a day or 2 later, my best PSP game of 2010 was released, Kingdom Hearts Birth by Sleep. Unlike 358 over 2 days, this game didn't get as repetitive with the missions, and the story was able to keep my attention from beginning until end. You have 3 characters in the game whose stories you play out like 3 different games or 3 different campaign modes. In the end, each of them visit the same worlds as the others, so don't think one character visits some while another character visits the worlds that the other one did not. The graphics are pretty good for a PSP game. It seems like a Kingdom Hearts game translated on the PSP much better than the DS. There's only one Final Fantasy character making an appearance this time around, but considering it's a prequel to the first Kingdom Hearts, that's to be expected. Also, I mentioned this on another show, but there was a game board option that helps you level up your skills, like your magic and special attacks. I must have spent the first week or two every night just playing that board game. Hey, it's no Monopoly or Mario Party, but it's still pretty fun. The story is great, and the voice acting is amazing. I was a little iffy about Aqua at first, but she grew on me over time. Don't you find it ironic that you have two voices in this game that are from a sci-fi dispute over what's better, Star Trek or Star Wars? Yeah, you've got Leonard Nimoy, Mr. Spock, providing a voice for one of the Keyblade Masters in here, and for another, you have Mark Hamill, Luke Skywalker, but some of you might know him better as the Joker from Batman the Animated Series, or Batman Arkham Asylum. Birth by Sleep was by far the best PSP game I played this year, and is probably my second favorite in this series behind Kingdom Hearts 2. In fact, it deserves a double award from me for having the best music in a 2010 game. It's like Yoko Shimomura took some of the best tracks from the previous Kingdom Hearts games, threw them in with new original tracks, and we have a winning formula of an amazing soundtrack. My only complaint is that the original Birth by Sleep track that was used in the trailers for the game wasn't present in the game itself. If you're an action RPG fan, you should definitely give this a shot. It's a good way to hold you over until Dissidia 012 Duodecium Final Fantasy comes out in 2011. Try saying that 3 times fast. Alright guys, time for me to let off some steam and reveal my biggest disappointment of the year. Now some of you would probably think right off the bat that Metroid Other M would be here. Nope. While I was expecting that game to be good, I wasn't expecting it to be more than that. No, there was another I had high hopes and expectations for that just felt like I wasted my time. Before I continue, please direct all of your hate mail towards me. Zenith has had no part in this. Biggest disappointment? Metal Gear Solid Peace Walker for the PSP. Right after I finished Birth by Sleep, this was next on my list. Where to begin? I didn't pay much attention to the voice acting, but I can say that at least it was spot on. No complaints there. David Hayter, no one can voice Snake but you. And maybe Egoraptor. The story was kind of eh. Now wouldn't you expect something like the story in Metal Gear to just blow your mind? Not here. My biggest complaint for the game definitely has to be the gameplay. However, it's a step up from Portable Ops, where you could only carry 4 items or weapons. Here you can carry 8 separate items and 8 separate weapons. Wait, I take that back. 2 guns and 6 throwable weapons like grenades. Are you kidding me? When in any other Metal Gear Solid game were you limited to carrying just 2 guns? If that wasn't a big enough hassle, you couldn't just find these weapons. No! You had to help build an army and divide your departments into combat, research and development, mess hall, medical, and intelligence. Depending on what people you recruited into your army would determine the level of your department. There were certain weapons you couldn't build until certain departments were at certain levels. And if that wasn't bad enough, the weapons had levels to them too. Every time you leveled them up, you could hold more ammo to them. This leveling system is something you either love or hate, and I just flat out hated it. If I wanted to play something with a leveling system, I'd play an RPG like Final Fantasy. I can't tell you how much time was wasted trying to capture more people in missions I had already done, just so I could level up my R&D department so they could make me a lock-on missile launcher. The game is divided up into 4 chapters. After you beat the game, it gives you the option to unlock a 5th chapter, but you have to fulfill some requirements, like beat all of the side missions, which unlocks more side missions that you have to beat. This gets you the true ending. Again, why is this in a Metal Gear game? Resisting or submitting to torture, which affects the outcome of Metal Gear Solid 1, that I can live with. This? I just went off and asked someone what happened with the special ending. And I will admit, it's quite a twist, but I just couldn't put up with the game anymore at that point. Enough of that, let's move on to something else. As far as 360 and PS3 games go, I bought quite a few, but all of them are still sitting on the shelf in their packaging. For 360, I got Bayonetta and Sonic and Sega All-Stars Racing. For PS3, I have Uncharted, Final Fantasy XIII, and Assassin's Creed Brotherhood. I'm going to get to those as soon as I can, but for this year, I don't really have a 2010 award to give for either system. Now we come to the